Well, hello there, everybody. It is Wacky Wednesday, and look, I have wacky hair today, don't I? That's okay. Excuse me. Yeah, it's Mazske Finance coming to you from South Florida, and I'm not a financial advisor, CPA, attorney, doctor, or nutritionist. So, how are you doing today? Yep, it's April 5th, right? Yep, April 15th, year 2023. Anyway, have I told you how important it is to take care of yourself? Have I told you how important it is to invest for your future? I dare say I have done both. And I will be willing to bet that out of, I think I have 593 subscribers, the bulk of my subscribers do not watch my videos, which is fine. And I will be willing to bet that the bulk of my subscribers do not invest and do not take care of themselves. Why do I say that? Because when I look around society, I see obesity is rampant. It is rampant. Okay? When I look around society, I see people that are 20, 30 years older than me working jobs. I see people, and I've chatted with people that are 20, 30 years younger than me that tell me they can't afford to save any money. And yet they're driving a nicer car or vehicle than I drive. Go figure. Go figure. If you are an investor and you are physically fit and you strive to get healthier, no matter what your condition is right now, if you strive to get healthier, I dare say you are a minority. Yes, you're a minority. You're different. You're a contrarian type person. Yes, you are. Just like I am. Just like I am. Because as I've said many times, I'm the normal blue-collar guy. I was enlisted in the Navy. I was a blue-collar cop who turned down promotions after he got them in the police department. Okay, I have a bachelor's degree. My GPA was 3.96. All right, but I am the guy who never made over $52,000 a year in his working career. And he's now a multi-millionaire. Why? He invests in cash-producing assets. Cash-producing assets. You know what I mean, right? If you're new to my channel, you may not know what I mean. And I'll try to explain. Cash-producing assets, it's investing. If you buy Tesla stock, just as an example, and I used to own Tesla stock. If you buy it, it may appreciate over time. It may decline over time. It may go up, it may go down. Okay? Is it throwing off cash to you? No, it's not. Now, if you buy Procter & Gamble stock, it pays, I think, I don't own Procter & Gamble, and I'm going by memory, but it pays a quarterly dividend, I dare say. And does it throw off cash to you? Yes, every quarter. Depends on how many shares you buy, you will get dividends. If you're young, you could buy a stock like that. And I'm not saying buy Procter & Gamble. You can look up dividend kings, dividend aristocrats, and pick some of the better quality dividend paying stocks and get a portfolio if you so desire. I'm not telling you to do this. Get a portfolio while you're young, and you may only put a little bit of money into it because you don't have a lot. That's okay. You can do, and you're working a job, you don't need the cash. That's okay. You do dividend reinvesting. You can, no charge. Most brokerages do not charge anything to reinvest the dividends. And if you own one share and it pays a 5% dividend, when it pays it, now you have one share and a fraction of a share because the dividend gets reinvested, which means the next quarter, when you get that same dividend, it pays a little bit more because now you own 1 point something shares. Okay, are you starting to understand just a little bit? It's called compounding. Each time it pays a dividend, it gets reinvested, you increase your share account. It may only be fractional, but you increase your share account. And then usually once a year, if it's a dividend aristocrat, they will increase their dividend. Okay? Now they're paying you a larger dividend. Maybe they're paying you a 5.5% dividend. I don't know, just saying. And now you get a little bit more. And maybe you get a little bit more money. So you buy more shares. and you buy a well-rounded portfolio of dividend aristocrats. And over time, you work your 40 years, because you're 22, graduated college, and you work till you're 62. Odds are, if you do this and you put money in from your paycheck into a portfolio like that, you will amass, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of dollars, $1 million over 40 years. You'll get a chunk of money. Okay? Now let's flip that around a little bit. Let's say instead of buying dividend aristocrat stocks, dividend paying stocks, you decide to buy a rental property. As long as you run your numbers correctly, and I have a video called Running Your Numbers. That means when you buy a rental house, before you buy it, you find out what you think rent will be. You look at and determine how much money do you need to put into it to fix it up, to make it rent ready. If you're going to get a mortgage and you look at the mortgage rates, they might require you to put 20 or 25% down. You can use an online calculator and determine what your mortgage payment will be, your principal and interest. Okay, you also have to pay taxes and insurance. So figure out what taxes are. You can pull up a jurisdiction's website and figure out what taxes are. You look at realtor.com and see what past taxes are. And you can get an estimate on insurance. Take what your projected rent is, multiply it by your percentage you want to hold out for vacancies, repairs, and capital expenditures. An easy way to do it is to hold out 20%. Okay, I break it down like 7% for this, 7% for that. I think 5% for the last one. I hold out like 19%, but I round it up sometimes to 20%. Hold out your property management fee. Let's say it's 10%. It could be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12%. Say it's 10%. So for easy math, let's say it's 30%. 20% vacancies, repairs, capital expenditures, 10% property management. That's 30%. Say your projected rent's $1,000. You subtract 30%. Now you got $700 left. Out of that, then you pay your mortgage, which is principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. When you pay that, maybe that's $450. So you have $250 left over. Okay? Now you can calculate your yield. You can look at how much money you put for your down payment, how much money you need to put to fix it up. You look at how much cash, positive cash flow. That $250 is positive cash flow. Times 12 is what, $2,500? $3,000. And I'm just doing all this off the top of my head. So you got $3,000 positive cash flow, and you divide it by, or divide the other number by, you divide it by whatever to get a percentage of the amount of cash you spent, your down payment and your rehab cost, let's say, your fix-up cost. And you will get a number that you convert to a percentage. Calculator does all this, and that's your yield. Okay? My goal when I buy a rental property has historically been 12%, 15% to 20%, somewhere in there. Okay, I've tried to get higher returns, and I've been fairly successful with that. Okay, and by doing that, let's just go back. We'll forget all that rigmarole, but you're getting $250 a month. What have I just said there? You're getting $250 a month. It's a cash producing asset. You now own something that after you pay all expenses, and when you pay expenses, you're not paying them. Your tenant is paying you rent. That's how you pay your expenses. Pay all expenses, and after all that, you still have $250. So you save your money up. You can save a little faster now because you have $250 extra, and you save up another down payment. You buy a second rental house. Now you have $500. You see where I'm getting at with this? It's cash producing assets. You can also buy other cash producing assets, but I'm not going to get into all of those. But that's the basics of it. You invest, and if you start investing at a young age in cash producing assets, these assets, everything will compound. Don't be in a rush. Take your time. Stop and smell the roses periodically, and just keep buying cash producing assets. Okay? If you go too fast, you may crash and burn. Slow it down a little bit. I want 0 to 25 in 4 years. For me, in hindsight, I went a little too fast. It wasn't so much going too fast. I then moved from where I was living at down here to a mortgage when I had no mortgage, a higher cost of living area where leaving a lower cost of living area. And it sort of came back to bite me, okay, because I had to spend a lot of money on rehabs and whatnot. I learned from it. I made it through that. I'm okay now, I think. and so on and so on. Everything got a little darker in here. I think the cloud went over the sun. So anyway, with that being said, while you do all this, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, okay? You can't control your genetics. That's the one thing you can't control. But what you can control is the amount of exercise you do, the type of food you eat, okay? The more, I'm gonna keep this basic. If you can try to incorporate 5 healthy foods into your daily diet every day, 5. The goal would be not to always repeat them, so it's the same 5 over and over and over, but pick 5. Coffee and green tea are 2. Raspberries, blackberries, and banana, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's 5. Now, with that being said, out of those 5, where are your vegetables? Okay, so maybe tomorrow, instead of picking the berries, if you're only picking 5, you could pick corn, green beans, mashed potatoes. But that's what everybody eats. Look around the produce section in your supermarket. I'm not saying it's bad to eat corn, green beans, and mashed potatoes, but you got a lot more choices in the grocery store. You have lettuce, you have salads. You can buy bagged salads to make it easy. They've been triple washed, so they say. You have beets, you have kale, you have onions, you have garlic, you have sauerkraut, you have kimchi, you have mushrooms, you have kiwi, you have grapefruits, and so on and so on and so on. And I said a couple fruits there, but tomatoes, that's technically a fruit, but people think it's a vegetable. Incorporate these into your diet. I'm not going to go into detail on this. Read the book, Eat to Beat Disease. I'm just not going to be below today, but then read that, and you will find out everything and more that you need to know about eating to prevent disease. So with that being said, Massey's going to wrap this up. He's going to go eat, I think, a kiwi and maybe a grapefruit, because he's trying to beat disease. So that being said, have a great day. Maskey's signing out.